All right, here's my second video. This will be my first edited video. Last time I just gave you a brief intro to what I was doing, so we'll cover a bit more in depth today. The bitters and aversion therapy, probability weight loss, and E-block. So this video will give a little bit of a better breakdown. I've been working pretty hard in my basement the last couple months setting up this studio and computer build. I have a few things left to do, but everything seems to be functional. I'll show you a picture, a little video of my studio and computer build. It was very challenging for me. Took a lot of time, made a big mess out of my basement, and 15-year-old me really seemed to enjoy the RGB red, green, blue lights, and I definitely ended up with more of those lights than anticipated. All right, we're going to talk about my three main topics with what I do. We're going to start with bitters and aversion therapy spray because that's really what started everything for me way back in 2011, 2012. I had always dieted and exercised to lose weight, and I think a lot of people go into that. I got to diet, I got to exercise, and that's how you're going to lose weight. But it always ended up the same thing for me. I would diet hard, I would exercise hard, and then eventually I just couldn't maintain that. And then I would just yo-yo. I lose weight anywhere from 5 to 20 pounds. I even had a time where I lost 30 pounds, but within a number of months I was right back up where I was. So I said, I can't stop eating everything because it tastes so good. So I said, well, what if it didn't taste good? So I developed this bitters and aversion therapy spray. It's just a spray I carry around with me. And when I first started using it, it was super duper effective. I think within 3 or 4 months, I had dropped down 40 to 50 pounds, and I was way back in 2012. But then it started not being as effective, and I couldn't figure out why. So I kept on digging and asking questions to figure things out. All right, next we'll talk about probability weight loss, and I really developed that once my bitters and aversion therapy wasn't working nearly as effective, and I was taking a real deep dive into trying to figure out why it wasn't working. So I'll pull a picture up of that and talk about that just a little bit. All these things that I'm doing, I'll make other videos to discuss more in depth about it. But probability weight loss is really just increasing the likelihood that you're gonna lose weight. It takes into consideration the components of weight loss, which is diet and exercise, food in, food out, or energy in, energy out. But then there's also other things that we have to consider, and one of those main areas is life stress, like how is finance, how is family, how is work. All that stuff really plays a role in on how effective you can be at where you're in life. And everybody's different. Everybody's got different things going on. But to really focus on it, you really got to get to a place to where you can focus on diet and exercise. But then you also have to realize that when you are dieting and exercising, that you can push things to a limit that aren't good, and then that'll just increase the mental effect of diet and the mental effect of exercise energy output. So again, we'll cover more of that later in depth, but this is just a real brief introduction to the specifics that I do. All right, after developing the probability weight loss component of it, I then added E-block, which really was an addition to the bitters and aversion therapy. Bitters and aversion therapy is more of a mental kind of block when it comes to eating. There is a physical component to it. I keep in my pocket, like I'll grab the bottle in my pocket and just kind of keep myself oriented to my goal. And then the E-block is more of a physical barrier, and it's just a mouth guard that I will keep with me when I'm really in a good groove of eating healthy. If I'm making food for my kids, like say Kraft macaroni, I love Kraft macaroni for some reason. And if you're making it and you're making it for your kids and you're stirring it up on the stove, it's very easy just to take a bite. So the way this works is you keep it in your mouth while you're doing stuff like that, and then you have to actually mentally decide that you're going to pull it out of your mouth. It gives you that mental break to really decide what you want to do. It gives you that moment to decide if you're going to eat that or not eat it, versus just a reaction to take a spoonful and eat it. So those are the three main components of what I do. And again, we'll talk more in depth about these specifically in different videos, and then I'll just finish off with what else I'm going to do in this time coming up in the next 6 months. May 1st will be my 100-day mark. It's go time for me. The main focus over 6 months will be diet, food prep, exercise, active attitude, health, and weight loss. From May through October, the PTO policy has changed for the business I work for. So I have 400 hours PTO, and I'm going to burn through a bunch of that over that 6 months period. So I'll be dropping down to working just 2 days a week for that 6 months to help me focus on all of this stuff. I do plan to make videos over that 6 months if I have time, and I'll just determine on how well I'm doing with the diet and exercise, because that is the main focus over that period of time. Workouts and activities, I'll try to make videos, biking, hiking, skiing, food, I'll show you what I eat, try new recipes, make some recipes on there. I'll probably monitor insulin, ketone, labs. I had labs drawn in January, and then coming up here this Friday, April 18th or whatever, I think it is, I have labs drawn again. I've had some labs the last 3 years go kind of wonky. My lipid cholesterol profile has been elevated the last 3 years, and then also the big one is my blood sugars and hemoglobin A1C has been elevated the last 3 years, so pre-diabetic. So I want to see what I can do over the 6 months, see if I can really change those numbers around, and I know it's possible, but to do it is more challenging. It's just challenging in general. So monitor insulin, ketone labs. Interesting things that I'll do a daily, weekly pics that I'll try to turn into an overtime morph video. I may grow my hair long again. Last time I had my haircut was Veterans Day, so November 11th of 24. So we'll see how long I'll grow my hair. I may donate. I may do St. Baldrick's again, like I did way back in, what was that, 2020? I cut off 15 inches of hair. I'll show a pic of that. I may do sauna, cold bath. I know they have some out there that are relatively and cheap that you can just kind of move around. We'll see how good quality those are if I get those. Things that keep me busy around the house that I may make some videos on, garden, pool, stuff with a dog. Something else that really takes up my time or keeps me entertained is piano, so I may do some stuff with that. I may just run these videos in the background of the videos. They may be something is the main focus. But throughout if I'm making videos, I'm going to try to be somewhat entertaining. As you can see, I've shaved throughout this. If you haven't seen that, then you might be blind. But I'll try to do what I can to keep these entertaining. But I do take diet, exercise, health very seriously. And I've worked on it for a long time, and I think it's time. Everything has kind of worked out in a way for me to really focus on it, to have things in my life in order to really kind of focus on this, and we'll see what we can do with it. All right, I hope you all have a great day. Ollie.
Hi.
Are you Spidey Man?
I got muscles.
Yeah, look at the muscles. Woo! Moly. Some good working out.